Hi, Jack Mitchell with the Evening Hatch. I am standing on the Yakima River here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about swinging a fly and actually setting a hook. That's one of the first things that you learn about swinging a fly is how to set the hook or how not to set the hook. It is kind of counterintuitive. When you feel the fish grab your fly on a swung fly, you instinctively want to set the hook, and you know, we've all done it. I've done it plenty of times myself. There are a couple tips, especially for those who have not done much swinging. And you know, inevitably the first fish that eats your fly in the swing season, you know, your first outing, no matter who you are, when you're swinging a fly, sometimes when that fish grabs it, no matter how much experience you've got, you end up setting for the stars. You know, you set the hook, and that's not the right thing to do. Really what you want that fish to do is actually just take the fly, and you need to come tight. If it commits to the fly, it's gonna take it, and then all we need to do is bring our rod tip reasonably strong, low and sideways to the bank, but only in a short range of motion. But prior to that, we need that fish to actually take the fly. And like I said, inevitably, a lot of people set the hook. So one way of stopping yourself from setting the hook, or there's a couple ways of stopping yourself from setting the hook. One of which would be this. Once the fly is out there swinging, you put your opposite hand on top of that rod. That kind of stops you from doing the knee-jerk, or potentially could stop you from doing the knee-jerk reaction of setting the hook. So rod or opposite hand on top of the rod. On an opposite approach, you could put your hand behind your back. I know that's the opposite of what I just said, but it also is, you know, to keep your balance and everything, sometimes your hands to your side are good. And if your hands behind your back, you tend to be less likely to do any crazy motions like setting the hook when you're not supposed to. A third technique would be, and one of my good friends and guide staff and whatever told me this one the other day. The one he likes to use is that when you're swinging the fly, the rod hand, put your thumb in a loop of your wader or something like that, which would stop you from doing the old lift and lose. We call that the lift and lose. When a fish eats your fly, and you lift up, you lose generally. So let's assume that fish has eaten the fly, and he's actually committed to the fly. Oftentimes what I see people do is set the hook upstream. Well, that's out of the fish's mouth, basically. So the one thing that, or one of the tried and true long time / hook set angle, even though there's not much of a hook set when it comes to a swung fly, is to the left or to the bank, and not high, just to the bank, and just a short range of motion. Like instead of this all the way to the bank, when you decide to come tight on a fish, what we could do is literally just kind of to the bank and short and sharp. Anyways, hopefully helps those who are just learning to swing, and even those that have done plenty of swinging. Anyways, thanks again. Jack Mitchell with the Evening Hatch. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.